Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and today, as you can see here, the votes are in and I am gonna unbox, build and review this Brickmania kit, Sikorsky UH-60M Blackhawk. So the kit is right in front of you. As you can see, this is the front of it. Well, I don't know, maybe in the back, and in my mind this is the back of it. And let's go ahead and give it a side look. This is the kit number 24. And this is one of the newer models from Brickmania of the Blackhawk UH-60M that has a sliding door. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. This is what I'm going to do right now. Usually they're packed pretty tightly in here. Let's see if I can get this sleeve off nicely without damaging anything. Okay, so far so good. This is the box, and this is pretty typical Brickmania box. I know they're changing up the box style a little bit, but for this one it's still just the regular black box. And then the message, and this is what we got inside. So this is the instruction manual, very nice. Maybe I'll talk about it a bit later. You do get this picture, the same picture as we have on the sleeve. So this is nice. See what else we got here. Again, a bunch of parts. Minifigures. I'm really excited about those, so definitely gonna give a closer look at those. Some printed parts. United States Army. Printed heads. And you have those 3D resin printed helmets as well. Very nice. Yeah, and again, a bunch of great parts for this helicopter build. And yeah, let's go ahead and get to the building and let's come back for the review. All right, so I want to show you the build progress for the helicopter, for the Blackhawk, and this is how far I got. As you can see, I have the minifigures situated. And maybe give you a closer look into the printed panel. As you can see, it's right here. Very nice. You do get printed windows as well on both sides. But the idea is here to actually give you a closer look on the sliding door mechanism. This is something new that Brickmania is doing for the Blackhawks. So let me go ahead and show you how that works. You can see it kind of stops right over here at this section. And I can actually get the door removed. And it slides all the way to the end like this. But I can pull this door off, as then I don't have any roof or anything built just yet. And exactly the same mechanism on this side as well. All right, let's go ahead and put the door back. And slides back and forth very nicely. Yeah, just want to make that quick update and show you the mechanism in case any of you were interested how that works now. But here you go, that's the update. I'm going to continue on with the build. Alright, so I have finished the build of Brickmania kit Sikorsky UH-60M Blackhawk, as you can see right here. I'm probably just going to do it in a similar fashion as I normally do. I'll just probably go through the model itself, the build, maybe talk about some things that I like, then move into the history and maybe just give some of the final thoughts on this. So let's go ahead and start with the manual. So the manual, again, really nicely done, as pretty much all the Brickmania manuals, on par with Lego, no issues. I do apologize, I have very little space here on this table, but things are very clear. There's really not much else in the manual except on the first page you do get a little bit of stats on this kit, just how many pieces and so on. And then I just want to kind of show the last page. You do get a little bit of this kind of cool poster-like picture. I wish this would just come separately as a poster. That would be very nice. I could just hang this on the wall, but anyways, at least it's nice that they include it in the manual. As you can see here, this is the build. Maybe give you a little bit of closer look. Again, working with some limited space here, so this is the best that I can do. Maybe give it a little bit of 360. And in this configuration, It's fully functional, so to say, right? Nothing is folded. You do able to fold, or you can fold the blades in the back, in the front, and the rear tail section in different ways. I don't think I will be doing this. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube on how exactly you can do it. Brickmania has made multiple versions of this Blackhawk helicopter, and there's other reviewers that basically showed exactly how the helicopter the kit itself can fold. But again, this folds, tail rotor, the rotor itself, as you can see, it spins very nicely. This is more of an updated version. I think the coolest thing that I would like to kind of point out here, well, let me get those dudes out first, those little guys out first. But in this version, you do have this now sliding door mechanism. And I think it looks and works very nicely. Let me go ahead and show you how it looks like with the door closed. I think it looks pretty good in either way, in the open or slit configuration. And it kind of does stay put no matter how you keep it, either open or closed. So that's very nice. You also have opening doors. So you can open the door here if you want, and you do see a pilot inside. And this is where I have it. I have all basically the crew and the minifigures that came with the kit inside at the moment. Just a little bit of disclaimer. The US Army Riflemen that I have here are not part of the kit. Those you have to purchase separately. Maybe I will give a little bit of a closer look while I'm holding one. I do pick them up in a separate haul, but I will give you a bit of a closer look on this US Rifleman. And this is the updated version that Brickmania made. It comes with this, I don't remember exactly what it is. Is it M4? Then it also comes with this 3D printed custom helmet, a cap, very nicely UV printed face, and the camo. Really liking this minifigure. It is a bit on the pricey side compared to the older version. I do have kind of like modified the older version right here. It's exactly the same as the V1, except I just swapped up the face. So the face, I have the camo face in here, but the torso is this from the version 1 minifigure. Also quite nice. Again, doesn't have this 3D printed helmet like the new updated version has, but the camo is pretty good. And this one was a bit cheaper. This is now maybe a little bit outdated print work, so it was cheaper compared to the new one that they're now releasing. But yeah, let me know in the comments, is there a bigger difference now between V1 and V2 minifigures for the US Rifleman? All right, let's go ahead and set them aside and kind of focus on back on the Blackhawk. All right, just then also kind of go printed parts. We have a printed window right here. We have printed door. We have some of the printed elements in the front. In the back, we have on the tail section, we have United States Army printed. And we have some of the, I'm not sure exactly what those are. I would think maybe like a flares or like anti-missile kind of systems in place. And then we have exactly the same thing happening on this other side as well. I personally enjoy some of these build techniques that they had in place. I like how they did the windshield. That was really cool when I was putting it together. And I did like this tail piece as well. That was a very nice build technique. So if you do purchase it, then you'll see how that's done. To me, I thought that was very nicely put together. Now, going a little bit further into this, there's also printed elements inside the cockpit. I was trying to get the roof out and trying to get also the minifigures that come with the kit. So there's 4 minifigures in total that come with this kit. And let me go ahead and try to get them out, and maybe while doing so, also show you then inside of the cockpit. As you can see, it's a pretty snug fit. There's a printed cockpit right here, and there's also printed elements right over here. All right, so I do have now a helicopter somewhat put together. Again, I wish it was a bit easier to get the minifigures in and out, but unfortunately it is what it is. The build itself is very sturdy. Again, it's just the fact that you have to kind of unassemble it a bit, remove the roof and some other pieces. Becomes a bit of a pain if you want to kind of move the figures back and forth. So, and right now I just want to kind of focus a little bit on the minifigures. So we have a couple minifigures that came with it. So we have 2 pilots and then 2 crew chiefs. So let me go ahead and get this Rifleman out. So this is the pilot minifigure. And then we have a female face. Give you maybe a bit closer look on her. And very nicely done again. Print job here, UV print. Nice camo, United States flag on the side. Actually, let me take the head off and see what's there. There's nothing really here, except in the back. Okay, there's something in the back. And it says Lando was here, and we have Lando in the back. And then it also comes with the 3D printed raisin helmet, which looks really cool. It's really cool. I really like the helmet. Makes it really stand out. So nicely done figure. The rest of them are somewhat similar, not much of a difference, so I'm not going to show you the pilot one. So there's another pilot figure, you know, it just has a different head essentially. See if I can pop the head off. Yeah, I can. Oh, this is another pilot. It has basically a pilot head, but the same torso, same 3D printed helmet. And then we have 2 of the crew chiefs. The torso looks just slightly different. Overall, it's almost the same thing, just a couple things that are just a little bit different from the pilots. But let me go ahead and take the helmet off on the crew chief so you can see that minifigure closer. You get a little bit of this darker tone. And the pretty cool glasses. And then the last one, we got the flesh tone. Same thing, same torso, not much of a difference. I'm not even gonna probably put it here. Very cool figures, really like them a lot. Definitely add a lot to the kit itself. All right, that kind of basically is the overview of the kit and the build. I hope I didn't miss anything. If you feel like I did miss something or you have some questions, go ahead please and put them in the comments below. I do read them and try and reply to them. But now I would like to get in a little bit into the background and history of a Blackhawk. If you're not into the history kind of part, and I normally do those in my review videos, you can go ahead and skip it to the final thoughts. But yes, I would like to still talk a little bit on the background of this pretty cool aircraft. So this is a multi-role helicopter produced by Sikorsky, and now it's basically owned by Lockheed Martin. It was originally introduced in 1979. Originally, it was designated as the S-70 type, and this designation at the moment is more or less used for the exports around the world, as this helicopter is then in different kind of locations and places and is very popular. There's about 4,000 of the Blackhawks made. United States Army is the largest operator and it owns about 2,000 of the Blackhawks. As I mentioned, the designation of Blackhawk is S-70, but United States military, there's so many variances of this Blackhawk. It actually has different names. There's like UH-60 Medevac, there's MH-60 Jayhawk. I think Coast Guard is using those. There's HH-60 Pavehawk. This is for the search and rescue. I mean, there's a crazy number of different kind of variances. There's ones that have, like for example, the Pavehawks that have this advanced weaponry systems with some like electro optics and the radars and that kind of stuff in place. There's also variant called EH-60, which is electric warfare. There's ones that are the VIP versions, which is the VH-60M. I mean, there's a firefighter version. I mean, you name it. Actually, the funny thing is that Brickmania made a bunch of them as well. Now this is the UH-60M, but then Brickmania has already previously made, I think if I'm not mistaken, the Pavehawk, the Jayhawk actually, and even the Seahawk, right? Not to forget about that one. So there's a bunch of them Brickmania made, and of course there's a whole lot more variances that United States military has. Now actually the Sikorsky are developing the Blackhawk that can actually fly by itself without having any pilots, so like on autopilot. So that's kind of pretty cool. But this one that we're looking at right now, the specific one, again, this is the UH-60M, is more or less a utility helicopter. This one being used a lot to transport the troops, and it can fit about 11 to 12 fully equipped troops, basically one of those guys right here. So those can be loaded in there. Of course, in addition to carrying the troops or transporting the troops, it can carry the payload. So basically up to 4,000 kilograms or 9,000 pounds of external and internal cargo it can carry. Well, this specific model has an armored floor, and you can see here that on both sides you have window guns. So some notable combats, kind of just to mention, where you would see this helicopter used in action. Of course, again, this is more specifically the United States Army. As mentioned previously, there's many countries that use this helicopter aircraft. I mean, you have the Mexicans and you have other countries, the Japanese. They're just mostly allies of the United States that had used this aircraft. But specifically to the United States, some of the combats that was involved, it was involved in Panama, in Iraqi war, basically, in Afghanistan. It was used a lot. And then, of course, not to forget Somalia. Then we have our Mogadishu Blackhawk Down movie. So that was pretty cool. And I mean, Brickmania released that version as well. And in 2011, there's a modified version of this helicopter, UH-60. It's not the M version, but it's the modified one for the low observation. And that helicopter was used to, let me give you a little bit of a clue. Yeah, that was used to eliminate #1 most wanted men in Pakistan by the 160th SOR. Right, so that basically concludes the background, a little bit of the history on this aircraft. And let me give you a bit of a closer look. Again, I think this is really cool. I love this version of Brickmania Blackhawk kit. I do like the fact that there's no stickers and everything is printed. I do really love that, you know, there's constantly made changes and updates are made to the minifigures. As you can see, there's more of a better printing job used, the 3D printed gears, and most importantly, the changes or updates, like you have the sliding door mechanism. So from that point of view, and in itself, this is pretty iconic aircraft. I did decide to go with the basically standard version because you can use it maybe in the mocks or kind of stop motions or whatever else. I do want to mention just one thing. Again, nothing bad to say. I did have one missing part. Just want to throw it out there. But overall, again, very happy with this purchase. If you're into this and you have a budget, especially into this military kind of builds, I do recommend it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. And if you did, go ahead, please put a like. You can put a comment, tell me what you think about this kit. I hope you have a nice weekend and have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.